Hey Gemini, and welcome back to my channel. This is the Flourishing Mystic, and I'm here with a special reading where we're going to dive into the next 3 months ahead. So your next 3 months, January, February, March. I just uploaded your January 2024 reading. It was a beautiful reading, very heartfelt. Thank you to all the beautiful Geminis who were drawn to that reading and really left the most beautiful comments. I have never felt more seen along my journey of reading tarot. So thank you so much for showing up. I'm glad you enjoyed that reading. And let's get into this one. For the next 3 months, we're going to take a sort of zoomed out approach here where we're going to get some overall themes and messages, some guidance. If a message comes up here that doesn't resonate with you, just leave that message behind. It's most likely not for you. So, beautiful Geminis, let's get into your reading. I have a few decks here that I want to use. I may incorporate others if that intuitively comes up, but let's get started. I'm going to start with the first one we have here. I'm going to move these out of the way for the time being. Okay, Gemini, so let me tune in here. I'm going to lay out 3 cards, one for each month, and then we're just going to keep opening up this energy for you. So Gemini, January, February, March. What would you have our beautiful Geminis know for their next 3 months ahead? Give us some key insights, hope, inspiration, and guidance for the beautiful sign of Gemini. We have January. We have February, and we have March. The bottom of the deck is Key, which is the opportunity card, okay? Very interesting. I almost want to just leave this here, okay? So January, we have the Crown card, Gemini. It says personal power. So January is a month where you're definitely going to tap into some sort of reserve you may never knew you had, or perhaps you did. Perhaps intuitively you knew you always had this reserve of personal power and strength within you. Okay, this is a month where you are going to put on that crown proudly and boldly. Okay, you're going to put on that crown proudly and boldly. You're going to wear it. I feel like this is a month where you're also not afraid to shine. Okay, you won't be afraid to shine this month. And this is beautiful for the fellow Geminis out there on social media trying to do their thing. Stand out from the crowd, or allow at least your own true innate talents to shine. Okay, this is not about comparison. This is not about who's better than. This is about just allowing yourself to really blossom as and who you are. This is not about competition. This is not about beating the competition. This is about being the beautiful. The analogy of a flower is coming up, but just be the beautiful flower that you are. Allow yourself to blossom amongst the other flowers. This is how that crown really stands out, okay? Is one of the main messages coming through. We also have the number 28. Okay, the 28th of January could be very significant for you. It could be a time of pivoting. It could be a time of personal strength, or some sort of important realization I'm getting, okay? That's an interesting number because it's around the full moon in the month of January. The full moon, I believe, is on the 25th. So very interesting. There could be some illumination. You know, the crown is I'm thinking about the crown chakra. I'm also thinking, I'm getting the energy of the lion and the Leo sort of energy coming through for whatever reason. There's some sort of illumination. And then they're giving me actually the full moon is in the sign of Leo. Okay. It's in the sign of Leo. Leo's known to be like sort of the king or queen. This could be a time where you really stand out or where you wear your crown so boldly. Okay. Now, moving on to February, we have the Yin Yang card, which is the card of balance. Now, this is a brand new deck for me, but I'm starting to really connect with it. We have the balance card. It's the number 4 as well. That's a balanced number. Incorporating both the feminine and masculine within you to make this perfect blend of who you are, knowing when it's time to do and when it's time to rest. Okay, there's something about work-life balance. There's something about balancing out your goals at this time in the month of February. Also an appreciation for life's ebbs and flows I'm getting with the yin and yang card. An appreciation for the natural ebbing and flowing of life. Knowing that maybe there are times where we're not always blossoming and flourishing. There's times where we need to prune the energy. There's times where we need to cut back. There's times where we need to trim, for example. And then there's times for extraordinary growth. And kind of embracing that, embracing that natural law and order of the world that we are in. We also have the beautiful labyrinth card here, Gemini, for March. Okay, it's the number 15. It's a journey. It talks about a journey. Okay, and this, to me, it looks like you've been called on a pathway, and sometimes that pathway is not perfectly laid out. Sometimes that pathway takes turns and pivots, and there's forks in the road. That doesn't mean that you're not on the right path. Okay, so once again, embracing the journey now. The number 15 is also coming up as an important date, perhaps in the month of March. Okay, we're going to unfold this reading as well. Your overarching energy for this time period is the key, the opportunity card. So this is a time of doors opening for you, Gemini. Doors that were previously closed to you. Maybe things in life that weren't easily going your way are now going to become more open. Things are going to be more clear to you as well during this entire period. Let's tap into the tarot because I know we're going to get some deeper messages here. For beautiful Geminis, let's open up January. The month of January, you have the Crown card. Let's open up this month. And you have the World. My goodness, what a powerful omen. The World card really stands out for me in terms of some of you are on the pathway to success. You're going to receive some major accolade or recognition in your career path. Some of you will be completing a cycle, Gemini. So some of you are graduating, just about to graduate. Don't give up. Don't give up on the larger, grander goal of your life. It could get really hard when we're approaching the end goal. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to keep going and forging ahead, and sort of giving yourself that extra boost in confidence and this inner knowing that you can make it to the finish line of something that has been a goal for you for some time now. The World card talks about success, and because you have the Crown card, I feel like success is definitely in the cards for you, Gemini. And even though we're talking about January here, I felt this in your January reading, where 2024 is going to be a year where it really stands out. It's going to be a year that maybe opens up doors of success to you and some sort of major accomplishment or manifestation. Okay, I know a lot of Geminis are open and available to love. We'll see if that kind of energy comes through again. But right now it's talking about career or some sort of success in an area of your life that's important to you. Let's go ahead and open up February. We have the Yin Yang card. And with that energy, you have two cards, the Four of Pentacles and the King of Wands. Very interesting because there's that fine balance. Notice how she's clutching or holding tight to her purse. There's sort of this, I want to say reserved energy. And then you have this juxtaposed with the King of Wands, which is a very fiery, passionate, bold, ready to take action kind of energy. There's going to be that kind of balance for you the month of February. And I feel like you're going to have the intuitive know-how of when to hold back, when to move forward with something. This could be a month where you really learn about financial planning and budgeting. You may have received an increase in some sort of resource, an inheritance perhaps, maybe a promotion or some sort of bonus at work, or increase in a stream of income of yours. And Four of Pentacles is managing that money or that resource in a way where it's going to benefit you, not just short term, but long term as well. There's some sort of long-term goal in mind here and finding balance. Now, the King of Wands is very passionate, so needless to say, February is still going to be a very passionate and dynamic month for you. I keep getting the energy of Leo, so I don't know if there's a significant Leo in your life or you have a strong Leo placement. This is coming up very strongly in your reading, Gemini. You could meet a Leo this month, okay, that you're finding balance with. This is a person. It could be a masculine as well. It could be a masculine energy coming through to support you or is going to play a key role for you in the month of February. We'll see if more of that sort of energy comes up as I'm going to be using more decks. So now we have the Labyrinth, March. This talks about the journey. Oh, one thing they're showing me, my goodness, you have the Four of Pentacles and the 4 here as well. Something about that number stands out. It is a number of balance. It is a number of harmony. It is a number of 1111. You know what? They're saying hold off on March for 1 second. There's a little bit more here that could be tapped into. Let's get more for Geminis on this February energy or this 4/4 energy. What would you have them know? The Knight of Wands. Definitely a passionate month nonetheless, even though you're called to balance out a certain area of your life. This could be financial. You find passion nonetheless with this Knight of Wands. And what's interesting, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4 of these sort of, I don't know what to call them, but there's this light, okay? 4 again. So you have 444, 444, definitely an angel number that I'd pay attention to the month of February. There's some sort of message there for you. And then also this spirit animal guide. You have a lion and you have a horse. There could also be spirit animal messages for you coming up throughout the month of February that is really going to call you to pay attention. They'll come in as signs and symbols, telling you perhaps you're on the right path, the wrong path, if you need to redirect, or if you need to keep going and forging ahead with something. What I like about the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands, there's definitely this fiery energy coming through. A fire sign really stands out. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that you may be meeting or become significant in a particular way. And this goes for both male and female Geminis. Notice how this Knight of Wands is depicted as a female. So it was almost like telling my beautiful viewers that it may not be a masculine alone. So there could be a female fiery sign coming in as well. That's important. Or that you meet. There could be a very passionate start. I'm getting fireworks, sparks. I don't know if this is romantic or if this is like a someone who inspires you. Do you want to open up this energy for Geminis? We have 6 of Cups. This could be a real companion coming through the month of February. A companion is what I'm getting with this loyal energy of the dog that stands out to me the most. Something about a companion. And the way I'm receiving that is sort of like limitless. I'm not getting a clear-cut answer if this is romantic or if this is some sort of mentor or teacher or guide that feels like a real companion to support you along this journey. And talking about journey, we have the labyrinth. And they're saying, yeah, it's time to transition to March. Okay, so let's open up this energy for March. The Labyrinth Journey card for Geminis. March 2024. Two of Wands. Look at all this fiery, beautiful, golden, red, orange energy that stands out to me. Wow. So your future looks very bright, very promising. I pulled this card as the very last card for 2023, which is promising a very bright future for a lot of my viewers here. This talks about new journeys, new opportunities. This talks about new horizons overall. If there have been sort of bucket lists of yours, this could be a time, the month of March, where you start planning or you start ticking off some of those goals that you have set for yourself, maybe from ages ago. You know, I know I have things on my bucket list that I have yet to do, but there's still something I want to do. So this could be a country you've always wanted to travel to. This could be traveling for the first time for some of you. This could be setting a plan in motion where it's like you don't entirely know how it's going to play out, but that's the fun part. You're open and sort of willing to go on a new journey, a new pathway. Now, the beautiful thing about the Two of Wands is, or it's sort of bittersweet sometimes, we're making plans for the future here, and sometimes in doing so, we have to leave something behind, be it a limiting belief, a limiting mindset, be it some sort of an excuse holding us back, a relationship holding us back. Okay, a debt even. Maybe some of you are squaring off a debt so you can forge ahead the way you really want to live your life. You don't want to be bogged down. So there's something like that here where there's a leaving behind of something so you can experience way more out of life or a situation. Sometimes this is changing career paths. Sometimes this is taking a leap of faith in a totally new direction where you have no maybe conscious experience with the labyrinth. But there's this intuitive knowing that if you follow this pathway, it's going to fill your life with much more excitement, passion, okay? This willingness to get up in the morning and be excited for the day ahead. So getting out of any sort of rut. You have a lot to look forward to this year. I can really feel it and sense it for the beautiful Geminis here. You have a lot to look forward to, and you get to kind of script and write how this will play out. So now that I'm filming this in the month of January. This is a time where maybe you can really journal and script. Like, by March, XYZ is going to happen. Or, I'm so grateful that I got to experience, like I said, XYZ by March 31st. Sort of just like putting those plans and intentions out there into the universe, making it real on paper. So, and giving yourself some time for some fruition, for some divine intervention to come through and support you. Okay? You may look on YouTube of how to script or how to manifest, and there could be some key guidance or guides who show you how they've done it, and there could be some insight in there for you, or you may have your own ways and methods of manifesting. And by the way, we're always manifesting, so why not make what you are manifesting currently the best outcome possible? This is by shifting your thoughts, becoming more positive, quitting the complaining or any sort of victim mentality that may have held you back in the past. We are letting that go. We are letting that go so that Geminis can experience the best that life has to offer here. Anything holding you back, it could be anything under the horizon. I don't want to, fill in the blanks for you. So let's go back to January. I know I'm going back and forth, but I just want to give you an idea of what's going to happen over your next 3 months ahead. So let's go back to January and see any other energies that want to come through for you this month to support you. We have transformation. Okay, so when I see that, I see the butterfly wings spread out. I see that on this particular world card, the arms are spread out. There's a crown here. There's a real transformation happening from the inside out. I feel like by the end of January, you are going to be almost totally unrecognizable, but meaning this is in the best way possible. This is in the best way possible. Some of you are shedding insecurities. Some of you are shedding anything stopping you from your truest and highest potential. Okay, January could be a month, Gemini, where you really tap in to your truest and highest potential, and you're not afraid to stand out. And remember that the analogy of the flower I used, and it's like not afraid to blossom amongst the other flowers out there. I know there's a meme. I don't know exactly how it's written. I totally forgot. It slipped my mind, but there's a meme about how a flower is not afraid to blossom in front of other flowers. Right? So not afraid to show yourself, all of yourself, your entire beauty, your entire, passions or skill sets, what you have to offer the world. Okay. You move away from any sort of comparison. They say comparison is the thief of joy, and you just tap into all that you are. You no longer want to compare yourself the month of January, and this makes all the difference. This is the transformation in and of itself. Okay, no matter what, no matter if you're on social media and you can't help but compare yourself to somebody else, something shifts, and that's kind of like an energy that falls away from you, and it frees you, and it allows you to just be and open up to your talents and your gifts. That is totally drawing me to the key card, the opportunity cards. Opportunities flow to us when we're open and ready and willing to accept the challenge as well. So look what gorgeous energy you have for the month of January. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Gemini, and I'm really happy for you. You're really kickstarting this year on a very high note. Okay. Now let's go ahead and tap into February. February for Geminis. We have a lot here. Let's get a beautiful sort of summary or maybe addition to this energy. Give us more clarity here for the month of February. You have enlightenment. Very powerful, because the yin and yang card is also a very enlightened energy. It's knowing how to master your feminine, your masculine. It's knowing how to master your energy. It's also that pure acceptance, like I said, of the ebbing and flowing of life, and knowing that we don't always have to manifest all the time, or how do I say this? We don't always have to see the manifestation in order to believe. There's some enlightenment happening for you the month of February, and they're immediately calling me to the guidebook here. So I hope you don't mind listening to what this card has to say. There could be a message in here for some Gemini. It says, vast galaxy. Our beautiful home galaxy is so large that if you traveled at the speed of light, it would take you 100,000 years to go from one end to the other. It is small compared to some galaxies. The realm of galaxies is so vast and so wide that it is beyond human comprehension, which is why the galaxy often symbolizes great enlightenment as well as faith in the forces much greater than us. The sacred landscape wants you to know enlightenment occurs when one steps out of the confines of an ordinary definition of self and expands into a greater awareness of the self within the universe. You are now reaching into the invisible realm of spirit and connecting with what you cannot see. Forces beneath the surface are supporting you on your journey. Have faith in yourself. You are so much more than you believe yourself to be. Have patience that there is a plan unfolding. The sky's the limit. This card represents enlightenment and signals that you are entering into a time of expansive transformation in a luminous and remarkable way. Trust that the changes ahead are for the greater good, for most certainly they are. So there's sort of a mystic in you, or a real student of life here that I'm getting and picking up on, Gemini, where you're just open to vast possibilities for not only yourself, but for the future of humanity, for our planet. You're open to maybe positive solutions to some of the trials, the challenges that we face or have faced up until now. I know life is not all rainbows and sunshine and butterflies and unicorns, but there's some real, there's some soul expansion here, soul's growth that I'm picking up on for you. That's very spiritual. That's going to maybe connect you to some spirit guides. There's one already revealing itself. Plus you have that beautiful horse energy. Where February could just feel like none other. You could feel a real weight lifted off your shoulder, a real burden. There could be a solution coming into your life that once felt impossible, like You could never overcome this as well. And then you believe in the vastness and the grandiose of the universe and God itself. There's something about the month of February that fills your heart and your mind and your soul with faith again. And faith is so important to the process and to the journey of life. Wow. So let's tune into March, okay? Some of these readings really kind of tear me up because I could just feel the energy coming through so strongly and so powerfully. So let's look at March. March looks like a fantastic time to start setting some travel plans or some goals for some sort of adventure that you want to do and explore. Two of Wands could also be just a brilliant idea that you have for business or for your career, or getting over a fear of maybe asking for a raise or a promotion. You may be asking not only the workplace, maybe your boss, but maybe even the universe and God itself. Like, God, how do I position myself in order to receive this promotion? What do I need to do? What are the steps involved? Okay. So let's look at March. Two of Wands. The Labyrinth Journey card. We have forgiveness. Okay, so that could be one thing. You could be letting go of something that was hurting you deep inside, okay? They say forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the foot who crushed it. Okay, so there's something beautiful and transformative about forgiveness, the month of March for you. And it almost, how do I say this? But it's what kickstarts a whole new journey and path for you. You may need to forgive something that was deeply hurting you deep within. Maybe you thought you did all the forgiveness work you could possibly do, but there could be this last thing. You could have a forgiveness journal or start writing it down, just letting it all out and flow out of you. Because I'm seeing this as opening you up to new horizons. Sometimes when we hold on to some trauma and pain, no matter how much work we think we've done around this topic, there could be some more. So sometimes writing it down, saying it out loud, forgiving, letting go, transmuting the energy into something positive can really be beneficial and support you. Coming up in the month of March, okay, beautiful Geminis. Now you have this key card as this overall underlying energy for the next 3 months, and I'm guided to read from the guidebook for you. I hope you're open to it. It says, get ready because opportunity is knocking on your door and handing you the key. You could be receiving multiple opportunities or feel like pathways that were once blocked are now available to you. Take advantage of offers coming your way, but remember to stay in control. Just because you have the key, it doesn't mean you have to go through the door. You can always place it in your back pocket until you're ready. Use discernment when deciding what to accept and what to leave behind. It is your call on how to choose to move forward. The key also symbolizes access, detachment, and freedom. You may be inspired to try new things or be ready to pursue an opportunity without fear or outcome. Now is the time to unlock your potential. So that is the overall guiding theme for this next 3 months that I feel might be very important. Now, some of you Geminis are looking for some overall themes in love, and I haven't pulled out the Romance Angel card deck in a long time, but I'm drawn to it. I'm going to pull some themes for you Gemini, if you're open to this portion of the reading. Okay, let me just attune this energy to Gemini. Okay, so Gemini. We have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. This is coming in the month of January. So this could be keeping an open mind to where and how you meet a potential soulmate. This could also be you're sort of in the process of dating, putting your feelers out there. Some of you are open again to the possibility of matching with somebody, because I'm seeing some options here. Gemini, you may have some options that you may be taking your time on. So I'm getting that the month of January, you're not just jumping into any relationship, Gemini. I believe Mercury retrograde is still in effect. It's the shadow period, so forgive me. But it feels like you're not jumping in to any relationship just to say you're in a relationship. You will be discerning through the people you're meeting. You could be meeting, multiple people. There's multiple interests in you. And you're saying, do I feel like there's a connection here, a real connection? You're sort of just putting your feelers out there. Like I said, you're open, but you're not necessarily making a decision on anybody. For some Geminis. Now, for other Geminis, I'm looking to the bottom of the deck for answers. There could be a real soulmate coming in, and I do remember that coming through your January general reading. When I do my general readings, I don't look for love themes. They just come through when it's natural. So there could be someone that a lot of Geminis on a collective level will be meeting, especially if you are single. Okay? If you are single, there could definitely be a match coming together, and it's beautiful. They're saying get one more, okay? Get one more for the month of January to clear up any sort of confusion here. Give your relationship a chance. Okay, they're saying you forgot about the Geminis who are in a relationship. Some of you are in a relationship, and this is a nice opportunity to sort of rekindle some passion or romance, doing kind gestures, having more patience, trying to fill your heart with more love and understanding and compassion. Nobody is completely perfect. Trying to see if this can be everlasting. Okay, so there's, of course, different Geminis. We're all going through unique experiences. Some of us are in relationships. Some of us are single. Some of us are are not interested. So take this portion with a grain of salt. See if it fits. Keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. There could be a difference between you and them, be it culturally, be it ethnicity, be it maybe your usual type, what you were always drawn to. You could have been drawn to a person kind of physically for a long time, and that shifts and changes and kind of transforms, right? You do have the butterfly card, or rather the transformation card. If you were used to a specific type, that could be changing and maybe growing and evolving, especially if that type was not the best, right? I just was shuffling and then Release Your Ex came out. If that type wasn't the best type for you, if there's a shift and a transformation in that area, all the better, okay? Let's look at February. Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay. Not always the energy we want to hear, right? There could also just be a peacemaking with the past, what didn't work out with somebody, not letting that hold us back from maybe experiencing and opening up to somebody new, not letting that put a damper on maybe a new situation coming in, making peace, and maybe releasing. Okay, for some Geminis, okay, maybe there's some sort of reconciliation if that's appropriate. That's not a message for everybody. Give us more on the month of February. We got playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. I find like this card is what draws people to you, Gemini, is when you're in your playful energy, when you're in your openness, just allowing yourself to have a good time. That applies to the single and the taken Geminis. Let's look at March. March. Love message for Geminis in the month of March. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So something could develop from January to March that makes something feel real. You feel attracted, attractive. There's attraction between you and another person. I feel like because some of you have just decided they're not going to force anything in love, they're not going, it feels like you're not going to really push anything forward unless it is just flowing in the right direction. This is what makes something come together with romantic feelings. And I feel like the way these two are looking at each other, it's very mutual, which is extremely important. And then there's angels surrounding this bond from both ends, the masculine and the feminine. So I think that's also important, that there's a sacred aspect to this connection, okay, for the Geminis where this resonates. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to conclude your reading with a Divine Door card. These are just beautiful, poetic. To summarize your next 3 months ahead. It says, change beckons. The path is shifting. The road leads a new way. Do not be alarmed as change beckons today. So you're going to find that the next 3 months brings change, which brings with it opportunity for growth. Here's the look of that door. And then one more flipped over. Distant dream. The distance calls your heart to roam free as you dare to dream it. So it must be. Pass this card along. This reminds me of travel. This reminds me of opening up to new adventure and new horizons there. Okay. Opening yourself to the possibilities that life has to offer, and the possibilities are there. The notion you'll see it when you believe it is coming through. So a shift in mindset, okay, is coming through very strongly, and a transformation on a deep soul level is coming through for you over the next 3 months. And I want to remind you, you got some sort of key this month, and the key is also telling me like a change in job. It's also giving me housing. You may purchase your first house or rent your first apartment, or you could be building a home. There's something like that as well that's pretty big and major coming up for some of you that I wanted to touch upon. So congratulations. Okay. Congratulations. I did not mean to knock over that beautiful crystal here. But you do have the World card. This is something major starting the month of January, okay, that I think is going to be an important theme for you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. I love reading your comments, especially from you, Gemini. I always feel so seen. Stay tuned for more readings, and I'll see you next time. Take care.